Caleb here with High Flow Drainage Solutions. We are working on a project on the south side of Kansas City today, and we're looking to accomplish two things on this project. The first thing we're working on, the client has been suffering from water intrusion issues on this side of the home. During heavy rain events, a fairly substantial amount of surface stormwater floods into this area between the fence and the side of the home. And eventually that water soaks into the ground and reaches its way to the basement wall and leaks through the basement wall, and certainly puts their basement sump pump to work as well. So we do have an existing system on this project, but unfortunately it is sorely undersized for what we're trying to do here. So they have two 6-inch surface inlets. Now, those inlets already are a bit undersized, but when you have a bunch of stormwater rushing through an area, it carries debris. And it will float over these small inlets and you just plug them in short order. So that's why it's so crucial to have large catch basins. So what we're going to do to improve their situation on this side of the home, we will be doing some preliminary grading to make sure we have a nice distinct low area about 10 foot away from the home, and then we will be installing a new drainage system through the graded low area, which will consist of 25 feet of French drain and two 20-inch catch basins. We're also going to go ahead and grab their downspout water on this side of the home and the basement sump pump discharge water as well. We'll go ahead and get those components tied into our systems. We are about 7 hours into this project now, and we have all the drainage system trenches dug and most of the discharge lines in the front yard backfilled. But we haven't backfilled our French drain here on the side of the home with gravel yet, so I want to take a quick video shoot to give you an idea of what a typical French drain / surface drainage system looks like. So we have our two 20-inch diameter catch basins with the green grates here installed. Our client will never have to worry about lawn clippings or leaf debris plugging up their catch basins ever again. The downspout here on the right-hand corner is tied directly into the side of the catch basin. Now, moving on to the end of the system. On the right-hand side, we have a 6-inch non-perforated line, and on the left-hand side of the trench, we have our 4-inch perforated French drain pipe. Now take note, the downspout, the surface drains, they have their own solid line, solid non-perforated line, and the French drain pipe is standalone. We never tie downspouts, surface drains, or even sump pump discharges into a perforated French drain. Now moving on to the courtyard area, we have the concrete walkway removed now, and we have our 12-inch area drain mostly installed. The top of the grate is placed so that we can get some pitch going both ways into our area drain. We have a 4-inch dual wall discharge line leaving the 12-inch catch basin, and we burrowed it underneath the courtyard wall. Now moving on to the discharge end of the system. In this scenario, we opted to use a 6-inch discharge line for the drainage system on the side of the home and a separate 4-inch discharge line for the courtyard area drain. Now, the reason we did that is because the surface drains for the drainage system on the side of the home, the tops of the grates sit higher than the top of the grate for the area drain in the courtyard. So if the drainage system was ever to get overwhelmed on the side of the home, and our 12-inch area drain in the courtyard was tied directly into the discharge line for those 20-inch catch basins on the side of the home, we would have a situation where we would see a lot of backwash from the main system on the side of the home, backwashing up the 12-inch area drain in the courtyard. So we made sure to install separate discharge lines, hence the two pop-up emitters you can see here. We always use plywood along the trenches as much as reasonably possible to avoid damaging your yard. Jason's over here on the side of the home working on installing the basement sump pump discharge riser. We had to cap off the old basement sump pump discharge line and tap a new hole up higher in the rim board of the home so there would actually be room to install a freeze protection on the sump pump discharge riser. If you don't have a freeze protection on your sump pump discharge riser, it's just a ticking time bomb. But as you can see here, the basement sump pump discharge riser, we have a little 1.5-inch spur off of the main riser that allows water to evacuate the basement sump pump if this line here that leads to the pop-up emitter in the front yard, if that pop-up emitter ever freezes, you can still evacuate water from your basement. It is now the end of the day and we are wrapping up this project. We've laid down seed and straw over everything, all the areas of yard that have been damaged by the project. I'm going to get the camera kind of close to the ground here so you can hopefully see this. The way we've graded this alleyway now, if water overwhelms our surface drainage system on rare occasions, we've ensured that the water will flow this way. It'll flow straight out towards the street. Before, when the surface drainage system became overwhelmed on the old system, the water would encroach upon the foundation wall of the home. So we've raised the grades a substantial amount to ensure that doesn't happen anymore. Moving on around, the courtyard area is complete. We have all this ground inside the courtyard area sloping down towards the 12-inch area drain. And we have installed this granite, this granular granite. They call it decomposed granite. It makes a nice little walkway inside a landscape area. All of the discharge line trenches have been compacted by our machinery to ensure minimal settling. We do our best to rake up the debris out of the yard. We do work off of plywood, but some of the debris certainly will get off the edges of the plywood, and then we rake up that debris as best we can. We do our best to leave the job clean. That being said, this is excavation work. It is messy, but the good news is your grass will grow back. We put down a great seed mix. If you water it, the seed will grow. If you are looking for a drainage contractor in the Kansas City area that understands drainage and who can solve your drainage issues the right way the first time, please give us a call.